YouTube! Why do I do that?
I'm not sure what to do with my hands.
Today's lesson is all about using the pentatonic scale to move all the way up the fretboard from the 3rd fret all the way up to the 15th fret on the high E. Alright? And it's pretty simple. You will need to know your pentatonic boxes, your different shapes there. And so position 1 is one that we all know. We're in the key of A in this lesson. So we all know this first box. Alright, so you will need to know each one of those positions. And there's plenty of YouTube videos about that, so I don't have one, but you can go find one. They're all over the place. So as long as you know those, we should be good to go. So now we're just going to take a look at the notes involved in this whole run up here. We'll get to the sequence in just a minute. It starts on the G from the 5th position. So you'll need to know your positions once again. So first position is right here on the A, and then we're going back one. So there's only 5 positions in the pentatonic. So this will be back here starting on the G. So we'll be borrowing 4 notes from each position. And every time we move up to the next position, we'll be on a set of strings lower. Okay? So the first one starts on the low E and the A string, and we're going to be on the 3rd fret and 5th fret on both strings. Alright? The next set moves up to the 5th fret and 7th fret of the A string and D string. Pretty simple so far. Then on the next set of strings, the D and the G, we have the 7th fret and the 10th fret, and the 7th fret and the 9th fret. And it's a little different fingering wise. Moving up to the next position, on the G and the B string, we have the 9th fret and the 12th fret, the 10th fret and the 13th fret. Alright, and the very last position that we're going to use is up here on the B and high E string, and that's going to be the 13th and 15th fret, and then the 12th and 15th fret. And then we'll always run that back down to the A, which is right here on the 14th fret of the G string. We're just running back up that position to the A. As you can tell, there are some shared notes between each one of those, right? And you could run up the scale just like that. Right? But it's a little not good. It's a little not too good. So what I like to use is a sequence of notes to move up the scale. It sounds a little more musical. Now, if you just use sequences constantly, then it won't be. But to use them every now and then, and it's a sequence you use all the time so you can play it fairly quickly, then not only are you moving up the scale fairly fluidly, but you're also impressing people. I don't know if you are. Okay, so this is the sequence throughout the whole thing on each set of strings. All right? Starting up here on the first 4 notes. Alright, so the hardest part of that obviously is being right here and having to skip down right below it. Right, so that's the most complicated part of all of it. If you don't mute those strings in some way, it'll either ring together or you'll have some open string type of situation going on. So you just want to be able to play that separately. But so that's a hammer on. Alright, so now you do that in every position. So we move up to the next set of notes. And the next one. The fingering once again changes here, but the pattern is the same. Up to the next one. That one, if you're playing it like this, needs a little bit of a shift. So I shift from using my third finger to my middle finger. And then finally up here at the top. That one changes because we go down to the A. Right? So once you get that under your fingers, you can play it anywhere. It doesn't have to be necessarily in this lick. Right? So you can move into it or out of it once you get the pattern down. But what I like to do, instead of just playing it like that and moving, you know, very block style, like this. Mistake. Not too good. What I like to do is use a slide. That is the sequence, but the fingering does change just a little bit. But you can work this out on your own. I rarely play licks that I learn identical to the person that showed them to me. I find that if you change them up and play them in your own way, whether it's that your picking style is different than the one showing the lick, or if you like to use more hammer-ons and pull-offs, all of that changes the sound of the lick. So I encourage everyone to do that with any lick you learn. Try to play it differently because it will sound different. So what I do though with the slide is this. Instead of starting the next sequence with my first finger, which would be here, I'd have to shift up. Right? What I like to do is use my third finger to hit the first note of the next sequence, if that makes any sense. It will here just in a second. And then you slide that up. And I feel like it just adds a little bit more character to the lick. So just like in the intro, I played a few notes. See, I started it, but I didn't finish it. You don't have to. That's the beauty of a sequence. You can get it on your fingers, you can play it anytime you want, but you don't have to finish the lick out completely unless you want to. And you can also start it somewhere else we didn't practice it, right? I could start it on the D string. Right? That's a different set of strings than what we just did, but it's still all out of the pentatonic scale. And the beauty of this, you can also use this on any 2-note per string scale. But get that under your fingers, and then you can use it anywhere you want. Thanks so much for checking out my video today. I don't know why I always point with my fingers and do the little guns. But I hope you learned something today that you can apply to your playing and use it all over the fretboard whenever you want. Next thing you know, you're gonna be playing that at a show and people are gonna see it and they're just gonna, I mean, their brains and their faces are just gonna, you know, you're just gonna be melting. They'll be standing there for sure and they'll hear it. They'll hear it. I don't know. So stay tuned to the channel because I'm gonna have more lessons coming out, more sequences, anything you want to learn. If you have anything specific, go ahead and leave it in the comments, or if you have questions about today's video, leave those in the comments too and I'll get back to you. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and click that subscribe button and then also hit the like button, right? It's just down there waiting. It's ready, you know, it's free. My goodness, it's free. Can't believe it. It's freedom. Anyway, go ahead and click that and go practice. Right now. Just go pick up your guitar and practice. And then I'll see you next time.